Welcome back, everybody. Episode 92, Light Warriors Unleashed podcast. And you guys have no idea. I'm going to talk about this in the podcast, but literally I recorded this once on mute. And then I went back in to record it and the internet dropped and partway through the recording. And so it's been an interesting journey to get this out to you today. And I understand why. Because the potency of the 4 aspects I'm talking about into today are, if people can grasp them and even move within one of them, they make so much movement of light in the world with one. And imagine then bringing in all 4 and really working all 4 of these prongs. It's going to be a life-changing game changer for people. So I get why the collective of shadow may not want this podcast out into the world, but here we are. It's getting out. No matter what they do, no matter what power they turn off or internet they turn off or mute they put on my fucking mic, this podcast is getting out. So I cannot wait to serve you guys in this solo episode today, talking about myths of spirituality, talking about dynamics of spirituality, talking about things that we thought to be true in the earth experience that actually aren't, and debunking them with you today and giving you the infrastructure to lean into to feel what the truth actually is. It's a powerful place to be. And I can't wait to serve you guys in this. Here we go. Episode 92, Light Warriors Unleashed podcast. Oh my God, guys. Okay. So I recorded this whole episode on mute and and it got to about 20 minutes in and I'm like, holy fucking shit, I am on mute, because I was playing around with my microphone before I hit record and I'm like, oh my God. So here we are re-recording this episode. It's probably going to be a bit tighter than what it was before, but I'm just like, oh, I don't want to re-record it. And my guides are like, you need to step in now and just get this recorded because it's got to get out tonight and I've got a lunch. And I'm like, I just want to go read my book. But I am not reading my book. I am here with you guys in episode 92. And this is going to be so funny. I can't believe I did that. And I'm outside, for those of you guys that are not watching the video. I've been kind of out here all morning and I'm choosing to do the recording of the podcast from my patio. So if you hear trucks or you hear noises, I am literally sitting outside and I am sweating my ass off. It's hot. It's like humid and it's the jungle. And we are right now coming off of a 7-day festival called Envision that comes to grace this place every year. And people from all over the world come to this Envision Festival. And it is pretty much like a psychedelic experience. A lot of people are on different drugs when they come to this festival. It is set up almost in a way of you being able to journey here. I went to it last night. Wasn't in the space of like getting into that. We just wanted to go check it out. I had a friend of mine give me her pass and she's like, hey, just go check it out. This is the last day was yesterday. And the earth right now is being cleared and I can feel it. Over the next week, it's going to remove some of the energy because this thing happens 5 minutes down the road from my house. Like literally, I'm not joking, 5 minutes down the road from my house. So in that space of movement and energy, I'm here to say to you in the space of time that yay, we've got some stuff to talk about today. And what dropped into my field to have a discussion with you is about 4 different things. There's some energies that have been moving through the matrix for centuries, keeping us as humans kind of in a certain vibrational level, under certain guises, under certain control mechanisms. And we're going to debunk them today and demyth them and step into the space to completely collapse some of this energy. And there's 4 things I want to chat with you guys about today that are potent as fuck for you to take in. And you guys get to choose now what you do with them as I lead them into your energetic field, because that's the beautiful thing about spiritual advancement and spirituality is that we get to choose. However, I am going to highly encourage you to take some of this within your heart center and really feel this out for your life. Because like I've been saying forever, the work is actually not the work in the human form that we've been conditioned to think. The work is the spiritual work, is the evolution, is us stepping into the space, is us holding a certain energetic capacity of us believing that things can be different and actually aligning our energy in that to collapse time, which we're going to talk about today, to literally shift and heal, which we're going to talk about today, for us to be able to lean into divine abundance code, which we're going to talk about today, and for us to be in alignment in the path of our spiritual journey and this journey on earth in our soul's mission, which we're going to talk about today. Those are the 4. So let's lead off with abundance to start. Lack and scarcity are an imprint in this earth experience. Every single place you go, people are showing you lack. We don't have any more of that. You don't have enough of that. You can't make this happen. We go to school, we are in lack. Our parents have taught us lack. The earth experience here has taught us and imprinted lack into our fields generationally. Now, some family lineages and ancestors have chosen to not partake in lack, which then change the mechanism for their whole family line, which is what we're seeing happen right now for a lot more people. But back in the day, some grandparents, some great grandparents decided not to flow within lack, and they made decisions and choices to align themselves in abundance and in wealth. That's why we see wealth. That's why we see it. And we see people choosing wealth every single day. But lack is embedded in this energetic experience, because if you are in lack, you are then susceptible to other people's controlling opinions, to the governmental monies to save you. And if you are relying on the government or any other infrastructures to save you, then that is a thing that's creating a distortion in your field, and you are not fully in your light. So let me bring this into awareness in the connection of what we're experiencing right now in the earth experience. We are debunking this entire mechanism. And I love my mom. And in my spiritual warriors group that I have on Facebook, which is free, and every week I go live in the group. And I want to bring this forth today, that if you guys want to join the group as well, the link is in the show notes. You guys can grab it. It's a free group. And today I brought up this conversation about my mom, and about my mom ingrained in us when we were kids that money doesn't grow on trees. And then one of the women in the group said to me, let's bring this into context for a second. Money actually only is created from trees. And if we think about that and really lean into that, and let me tell you guys about this experience that I'm having right now, is like, if I look out off my balcony, all I see, other than this rooftop here, is trees. There's a couple of roofs I see throughout here, and then it's all ocean. But every single aspect of this is abundance right here. And the only way money's created in paper form, like obviously it's in currency and in energy, which we're going to talk about in a second here, but it's like money only can be created through trees in physical form. And there is so much abundance right here looking out at me from this perspective, that it's like, how can we not see the abundance? But most of us have been conditioned in the scarcity and lack, right? And most of our lives, we've been conditioned in this, to live in this space. That's why literally I consciously, when I open up my fridge every day, I go, fuck, there's so much in here. And there is. I think I have like 10 avocados, and I really love avocado toast, even though I don't eat a lot of like wheat, or every so often I get fresh sourdough bread from my market order. Speaking of which, I got to put my market order in. I'm like, maybe I'll get some sourdough bread this week. But I toast it up, old school way, because I don't even have a toaster here. Butter, avocados with sea salt, and then eggs that are like runny. And then you like take a bite into that. Oh, that is abundance though, guys. That is us living in this energy of abundance in all things, in all ways, in our movement of life. But we've been conditioned to only see scarcity and lack. And a lot of us have been doing the work around this. But I want to say into the field of awareness right now is that we all of us, every single soul on this earth experience has access to divine codes of abundance, every single one of us. And we get to choose at this moment of time, choose yesterday, today, tomorrow, next week, whenever you decide to choose, if you ever decide to choose, to release the infrastructures of scarcity and lack and step into abundance in all things, in all ways, not just money, but also in energy and in love and in connection and in flow and how we show up in the world. That's what it is. I watch, like right now, I just got 2 birds that just flew by. I could sit here every single morning and watch abundance happen. From the abundance of blue sky, right now it's completely blue sky, from the abundance of sunshine, depending on when I'm sitting out here, because in the afternoon it's like full on sun, the abundance of trees and birds and leaves and grass and flowers. It doesn't matter if you're in North America in the middle of winter, you have abundance there too, of snow, of ice, of cool breezes. It's all about perspective. So that's the first thing. Number 2, I want to talk to you guys about time. And let's debunk time. Okay, so this is going to be one of those conversations. You're like, Colleen, you're going way out there. I'm going way out there for this on purpose because there's something that needs to be way out there for me to bring you back into this space of moments of time. The only planet in this whole entire universal system, everything, dimensional and everything, the only place that has time is Earth. Now, maybe you have heard me talk about us being in a simulation, like the movie Divergent, or us being in a game like the Hunger Games in the dome. If we think about this, we move through a 24-hour time period every day. Somebody's controlling time. Somebody is. This is a thing, right? And we've been conditioned our whole life. Go to work 9 to 5, work 9 to 5, 9 to 5. You go to school from this time to this time. Everything in the Earth experience revolves around time. You should have 8 hours of sleep a night. Now, I'm not saying that that's not beneficial for us. Here's what I'm saying. The Earth experience revolves around time. Conditioning in a box of time. We have the availability to collapse time. And what does that mean? That means, and that doesn't mean that, and I said this in the first recording of this, is like, there's some trailblazers out there that are looking for the people controlling the geodome, right? There's some trailblazers out there right now looking for the people creating the simulation because they want to go in and change the narrative. And some people are actually creating infrastructures to change the narrative. This is whole part of the Earth experience. Okay. Just putting that out there. Just like in Divergent, just like in the Hunger Games, they are out to change the narrative, right? In the aspect of time. Now, I'm not here to step into that space of conversation today, although maybe somewhere along of the podcast episodes, we'll be talking about that. But I want to bring to you the awareness of time. We think we don't have time. We think we are losing time. We've been conditioned to think that things take a long period of time to happen. Wealth takes a long period. You need to work hard in order to get it. You can't make $1 million in a year in a year. You have to do it in this amount of time. I want to call bullshit on all things time. Right now, we have availability to tap into an energetic portal that allows us to expand time, to collapse time, to shorten infrastructures. How this works, though, is you have to believe this to be true. You can't look at your life in reality and say, well, my reality says that it takes me 6 years to make $100,000 a year. You have to look at it and go, I believe that I can do this faster. I believe that I can make this happen quicker. I believe this, and believe it. And then you bring it into your field and awareness right here and you hold it. And every day you see it happening and you see it happening and you give it juice and you give it energy and you step in and you keep stepping in and you keep stepping in. That is the work. That and healing, which we're going to talk about in a second. But this is the actual work. So it's been diminished in the field so that we don't pay attention, so that we don't take the time, so that we don't step into this space, so that we don't literally lead in this. That's what's been happening in this collective. We've been conditioned to think that it's outside of our reach, that we can't do it, that the only way to get there is by this. But it's not. You have the ability to collapse time in the mechanism in all avenues of your life. You get to choose right here, right now, how this shows up. I just want to let you guys know too. Inside of this space of recording, the second time, the internet conked out and literally took out the whole entire, the first, I have 5 minutes of the first podcast, the second time I did this, and I started fucking laughing. So I literally talked about all this already. Then I stepped in and talked about it again, and then it got cut off. And then I went, shit, what am I supposed to be doing right now? And they're like, you need to go read your book for a bit. So I did. Then the power went out. The water's out here right now too, which is another thing that's been happening over the last few days. And I'm like, I can't control any of this, but here's what I can control: my time and collapsing time. So apparently I'm not supposed to use the internet right now. Now it cleared within 20 minutes. So now I'm back out here. I need to finish recording. I need to get this done. I desire to get this done. And I took a few moments to just chill. And I was like, oh, I could really use a nap right now because I'm actually really tired. The energy of it last night was really tiring for me, which I didn't recognize until I recognized it. And I'm like, okay, I'm really tired. Maybe I'll close my eyes for a bit. But I was like, no, let's just finish reading this chapter. Then all the power went out. And then all of a sudden it all came back on. And I went, okay, no, let's go finish recording and hit record. but I want you to feel this in your field of your choice. Which timeline right now are you playing out in? And does it serve your soul? Does it serve your energy? Does it serve how you desire to live your life? And if not, how can you shift timelines? How can you collapse time more? How can you step into the space to lean in and collapse what you really desire? And there's a how there on purpose, because some of you need to hear it howly. But here's what I want you to really feel is in your heart. The mechanism of time. You get to choose. Now let's move into the third one, which is healing. We've been taught that the medical system is the way to heal our bodies, that we go to a doctor to heal, which is fucking bullshit. I just want to say. Now, granted, the infrastructure of the medical system does serve us in certain ways inside of our infrastructures. Accidents, things like that. But technically, our bodies can heal its own self physically, on a physical level. The earth medicinally can hold anything inside of the body physical form to heal it. Okay, it just takes a little bit longer because most of us don't believe that it can happen that way, or we've infiltrated, this is a good one, the belief system that it takes longer to heal from the earth than it does in the medical system. Okay, all of that is bullshit. You can imprint any energy. You're a conscious creator into anything. So I just want to say that out loud. But I want to talk about healing timelines, ancestral healing, lineage healing, past life healing. So just like I said, and I've said this before, you may have heard me say this. If you're brand new to the podcast, it's your first time listening, hey, welcome. I talk about crazy shit and out there stuff, and some of your minds are not going to believe me until down the line it will be proven to you, and you'll be like, she was right. And I'm not trying to just be right. I'm literally channeling a message from deities in the collective for you to hear and feel into your field. We have availability right now to heal our bodies of emotions, of triggers, of traumas way faster than ever before, because we can tap into the roots in immediacy if we desire to go and find the answers, pull the answers, heal the energy, and get the fuck out. Whereas before, I've been doing spiritual work now for 15 years. It'll be in May. I surface leveled some of my healing for the first 5 years because I didn't want to do all that fucking work, because the timelines weren't collapsing as potently at the time. The infrastructure of the veil wasn't as thin as it is right now, where we literally can go, I want to go to that life, and we can go right into that life right here, right now, without all the gizmos and gadgets and stuff. We can drop into our heart and literally open up the door to that life and go into it. I do this work all the time for myself and with other people. This is part of my infrastructure. It's part of the work I do in the world. So when I say this to you, it comes from a place of truth, because I've watched it happen. I've watched people move through stuff in real time. I've watched it integrate in real time and then lock it in. This isn't a thing. It's been proven time and time and time and time again in my life. So I know this to be true. So when I say this to you, you can make a choice today to heal your body, to heal your mind, to heal your emotions, to heal the triggers, to heal all of it. But you've got to do the work. And just like I said in number 2, the work is this: dropping into new timelines, seeing it, merging it, getting grateful, pulling all the energy through our bodies, embodying it. And healing is the exact same thing. We got to go back and look. Then we've got to move the energy, and we've got to believe this to be true, and we've got to step behind it in all of our potency to shift and change. And you can make this happen. You can do this in your world. You can step into this in your world, but you've got to believe that this is a thing that can happen for you or never will happen. We have all the infrastructures and all the tools, and there's people in your life that can serve you if you desire to be served here. You do not need to stay under your shit any longer. That is an excuse that you're using, and you are using it as an excuse right now. You can move through anything that you desire to move through if you make a choice right here, right now to do that. You can. It's available for every single one of us on this earth plane. Every single one of us can do this. Number 4. You have a mission here on earth. You are not just incarnated for the fucking sake of incarnating to come to earth. You didn't just birth out of your mother because your mother decided she wanted to have a baby. You said yes to coming down with your puzzle piece and your contract, and then found a body that would serve your contract, your mother and father, and jumped into that timeline with them in the space of right here, right now. That's what happened. Every single soul on this earth has a reason for being here. Every single one. You are not just a human in this experience, 9 to 5, Netflix and chill, not doing anything with your life. That is not who you are. Now, granted, you can Netflix and chill if you want, which I'm going to be doing tonight, most likely, and chilling the fuck out and being in my body. I'm going to go do that tonight. But I make a conscious choice to do that. I don't do that every day. That's a choice. And maybe I won't even get to that point in time tonight, because sometimes I like to do like naps during the day, and then I have to get work done tonight, which I always have work to do. There's always something to do in my life, always. But I make choices and decide what feels juicy for me today. But I want to say to you, you have a reason for being here. And every single person has a reason for being here. Your puzzle piece, your vibration, your calibration, your frequency is for a reason. And that's the quest we're on, is to discover this again, to remember it again, and then to step in potently to the space. And that's the challenge some of us are having right now, is that we're not stepping in. We're sort of stepping in. We're semi-stepping in. We're thinking about maybe stepping in, but we haven't made a choice to step in, to get over our fucking shit, to move through and have courage, and to actually take an action. This is the thing. We're so fucking worried about all the stupid bullshit that we're worried about that we forgot that we're actually here for this. This is what we're here for. Right here, right now. We're here for this. And I'm like, that's why this podcast is getting recorded. That's why I did a YouTube video today. That's why I stepped in and went live on Facebook. That's why an email is going to go out today. That's why I create, because that's the mission for me. And I'm in it. And some of you are in your mission, but you're not potently aligned in the mission. Some of you are all in on the mission, but then you forgot about certain things and you forgot about the mission. And I could give you 500 million scenarios on this. And some of you are like, fuck, Colleen, I got this covered. Amazing. Here's your confirmation again. You're not just here to be here. You're not just here to go to work. You're not just here to go home and make dinner. You're not just here to have kids. And maybe that was part of your mission. Actually, I saw a post the other day that says, having babies is not part of a mission. And I went, that could be for somebody. So whoever decided to drop that into your field was bullshit, is what I want to say to that. Every mission is different. Every single person's soul purpose and vibrational alignment is different. None are the same. Although some of them weave together, and some of the impact may be in their light and in this massive impact, and it could look similar, but nothing is the same ever, 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 ever. We find commonalities that move through us. Like no two people are the same. And it's time that we recognize and realize this. So these 4 dynamics, abundance codes. You do not need to sacrifice yourself in lack and scarcity any longer. You make a choice. Number 2, timelines. You can collapse time right now and move through energy very fast and quickly and literally defy the odds if you choose to defy the odds. Number 3, you can heal your shit, your timelines, your ancestral lineages, your stuff in your body very fast if you choose to. Number 4, you're here for a reason. There are 4 aspects that if we can align these 4, guess how much light you're moving into the world? A whole shit ton. Because then you're in alignment. You're working your soul's path. You've downloaded your abundance code, so you're fucking flowing within wealth to be able to serve more in the collective and give more and be more in the space of time and experience more to help expand more light. You're doing the healing work, which means that you're not triggered in the traumas any longer, and you're not staying small any longer because you're expanded in the space of it, and you're collapsing time. So the things that are coming through you for you to do, for you to feel, for your mission on earth is going, and we're making it happen really fast. These are potent energies. And now I understand why I had to re-record this. Because it's coming in way more passionately this time, where I'm like, you better fucking have recorded, and there better be freaking volume on this. Because I'm not doing it again. And if I have to do it again, I'm going to do something else. Something really fucking quick, a bit like 5-minute like podcast solo episode. But this was important. And my editing will be important too, because I'm going to have to edit the fuck out of this, which is amazing. So excited for life. Guys, here we are at the starting line, at the finishing line of the other life that we just finished. And we're like, fuck that. I'm done with that shit. I'm starting again. You're right here. You get to choose right now in this moment what you do with this. Some of you are going to do absolutely nothing. You listen to it and you're like, okay, yeah, that was great, Colleen, amazing. Some of you are going to be like, yeah, I can consider that. Maybe I'll take one move over here. And some of you are like, fuck, man, Colleen, she's talking to me again. Hello. Welcome to my life. Here we are. right? So cool. Okay, before we go, I want to tell you about one more thing. I launched a free masterclass series that's happening live on March the 28th of 2024. If you get this podcast later on and you're listening to it later, and this is not running live any longer, just send me a message if you desire this and we can have a conversation about it. But this is called The Whisper. And this really is in alignment with you aligning in your intuitive path, you aligning in your space of creation, of you understanding your soul's mission, of you expanding into what we call the whisper. And it's going to be a beautiful, expanded 5-day free masterclass. So if you desire this, you're listening to this now and you're like, fuck yeah, I want it. The link is in the show notes. Go and look for the link. Register. If you can't make it live to the sessions, they will be recorded. There's going to be a short period of time inside the space. It's going to be done in Facebook, but all of the information will keep dropping over time. So all I want to say to you while the dog barks, asking for my puppies to come outside and play with him. Literally, that's the neighbor's dog here to get my dogs out to play. All I want to say to you is that you get to make a choice right here, right now. How do you choose to play? How do you choose to step in? How do you choose to be in your life right here, right now? And let's go make a difference somewhere today, in some way, shape, or form. I love you guys. And like always, I'll see you in the next episode. And just help me share this out, man. There's somebody in your life that needs this. If somebody needs also that free masterclass, send it to them. If someone wants to be a part of the Spiritual Warriors group, send it to them. This is open for all. The podcast, everything I've said in today's episode is open for all. Let's make movements and ripple effects in the world, because that's where we really get to get into some things and get juicy and see the value of all of us moving together. I love you guys, and I'll see you again soon.